Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing a maker crate and I am excited. I had a lot of fun with the last maker crate, so I'm excited to see what this one is. And if you are new to my channel, I created this channel as a homeschooling resource to give you unboxings like this, maybe for a break for a busy homeschooling mom, or to give you different curriculum ideas. So please hit that subscribe button below and let's open this box. So this one says Terrazzo. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. I don't even know what that means. Clay organizers. Learn about Terrazzo to sculpt a unique tray and set of handcrafted containers. So this should be interesting. So when we open it up, it looks like this. Sorry, this box is huge compared to the other one, so it's always hard for me to hold it up and show you. So this is what it looks like right here on that top page. And so when you take that out, this is what it looks like. Woo! Okay, so very exciting. It has a little pamphlet. This pamphlet doesn't have instructions in it. The instructions are found online. They give really awesome tutorials. And so this has a little bit of inspiration ideas, but the instructions you'll have to find online. So we have some clay. And the first one I got, the first maker crate I did 2 months ago, was also a clay project. So this is interesting, and I wonder how long this one will take, because last month's the punch pillow took a long time, but the clay one wasn't as long, so I guess we'll see. But this is a bunch of clay, it's pretty thick. And then we have some cutters right here, so just squares. If I can get them out, they're stuck. Okay, so we have some little cutters right there. We have some small clay that's in colored. So it's probably the little speckles that you see in this picture, I would guess, all these little speckles. And then we have this that has a bunch of different things in it. So this is a box, I think maybe a mold. And I'm not sure what else we have in here. Let's open it up and see. We can get it open. It has some little rings right there. And then a clay making tool, which you know how fun it is for me to try to open these boxes on camera. I just end up ripping them. Oh, this one was easier though. Good. Well, okay, so these look kind of similar to the one I made a few months ago with the hanging macrame pots, but there's a few more of them and they're a different color. So we have those. And then a rolling mat. So you have this that you can use. And then this looks like a template that's sitting inside of here, because it says to trim the clay, and then this wooden box as well. And then I think the last thing in here is this rolling pin, and it is taped down. So let's get it out of here. So it looks pretty cool, actually. It's like this clear cylinder looking thing, so I like it. So that's what's in this box, and I'm excited to make these pots because I've never heard of Terrazzo, if that's how you say it. So it'll be interesting to learn a little bit more about what that means. And so I'm gonna start working on this in my free time, my spare time, the little bit I have, and I will let you know how it goes. Finished making my maker crate, and so here they are. I'm trying to hold them up. I'll hold them up individually too, but here's all the little pieces for our Terrazzo. I think that's how you say it. They say it in the little tutorials they give you online, so if I'm saying it wrong, you can at least hear it right there, because I don't know how you say it for sure. But it made 4 different things. You could, if you had extra clay, you could make a few more things if you wanted to. And so I'm just gonna hold them up and show you, and then tell you a few things that I thought were easy or difficult. So there's this cute little tray right here that you put the clay down in the bottom, and you can have that. You could also, if you wanted to, stain this beforehand or paint it. If you wanted a different color, that would be fun. And then I have this little container. This one's made out of rectangles. So that's what it looks like. And then a little triangle one that looks like this. So this one could be fun for either like little jewelry or paper clips if you want an office, just some little things in there since it's not very deep. And then there's this one as well. So I feel like this taller one would be good for pencils. I'm not sure, this one, pencils wouldn't stand up in it, so I'm not sure what the best thing would be for this yet, but I'll experiment and we'll see. But I had a fun time doing this craft. Some parts of it were a little bit difficult. This is polymer clay, I think that's what it's called. So it's plastic and it doesn't harden until you bake it. So these ones you have to bake for 20 minutes. And so it's not a super long bake, but it helps it get hardened. But the more you work with it, the stickier it gets. So this tray is what I did first. And for this one, you have to have a really big rectangle piece. And so the more I worked the clay, the stickier it got. And in the videos, it tells you to flip it over to keep it from sticking, but it's really hard to get it off. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but it's also pretty forgiving because you're putting it inside this tray, which is sturdy. And so that helps a lot. But what I found with these ones, because you cut out all the shapes, you cut out tons of rectangles and squares, and then you cut some of the rectangles and squares in half to get the triangle one, is to just do little pieces at a time. So I just roll out enough to cut out one square. So it might take a smidge longer, but it was a lot easier to flip them over. And since I wasn't working them that much, it didn't get as sticky. So I found that was a little bit easier because I think in the video, they still show them rolling out a big sheet and cutting out a few different cookie cutters at one time. And I just found with this long tray that it just would get too sticky for me to work with. So that's one thing. I've never worked with this kind of clay before. I've worked with the ones that get a little bit hard as you work with them. And this is not the case. They do recommend you could put it in the fridge, and I did stick them in the freezer for a few minutes. So it makes them not as sticky and a little bit hard. So they're a little easier to work with. So that was fun, and I really liked being able to do the different decorations on here. This isn't necessarily my style. I really get a mid-century modern kind of vibe from this. I don't know why, and I don't know if that's even correct, but that's just what it makes me feel like, is kind of that era. But I think it's really cool, and I've never made something like this, so it was interesting to see how they do make this kind of tile, because they use it a lot for tiles, or I think kind of not necessarily around swimming pools. In the booklet, it showed a few different pictures of places that you see this kind of clay or tiling done. So this craft probably took me about 3 hours total to complete. Sorry, let me slow down when I'm talking. The tray was about an hour, and then the other 3 containers were about 2 hours. By the time I cut them out and then shaped them all, it took about 2 hours, and then you just bake them for 20 minutes. So it was relatively short compared to last month with the punch pillow. That took quite a while to do, whereas this wasn't so bad. And the craft in December, was it December? I can't remember, was also some clay. It wasn't polymer clay, but it was a similar type of thing to this one with the little macrame pots. So it'll be interesting to see what next month is, if it'll be something a little bit more like fabric yarn kind of, or if it will again be a craft with clay or something like this. I'm not really sure. But if you're interested in seeing more unboxings like this, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you with the Maker Crate next month.